Why do you think that Japan feels calmer, right? Even though with more people, like it's so compact, right? But you don't feel like it's damn annoying. You know, in Singapore, if like you squeeze in a bus on the MRT, you're like, oh, you know.
People there are very quiet. Even the roads are very quiet.
Like just the general street, right?
Yeah, and they don't speak when they walk. They don't speak loudly. They don't even speak.
I like
And-
the observation you say. They don't use their phone when they walk.
Yeah, they don't use their phone, which is damn weird. Yeah, like I don't know if you guys realize, right? I realized this because I don't know why I realized that. Maybe I just like walking around and I just looking around. But they all just walk. They all just walk. They don't use their phone one. Yeah, it's damn amazing eh. They only use it when they're on train. But then when they're walking, they don't use their phone.
They make sure to be like so they don't like bump into people, like, you know. I love the peace in the trains because in Singapore
Wow,
it's always
really
like
damn
some
quiet.
uncle on TikTok, you know, max volume, then got some fake laughter. Ha ha ha.
Actually, I think one of the reasons why they don't use their phones while walking, right, is because there's a lot of information you need to take note of when you're walking around. Like when you're walking in a train, right, you need to be aware of like when you turn into the turns. Like let's say, I'm going down the platforms, right? You need to be very aware of like where's the platform to turn, where to walk, all that kind of stuff. Then if you are looking for something on the street or you're just looking at the street, right, you cannot just use your phone and just expect to walk and somehow end up at the point. You just like especially a lot of the buildings have things in them, so you need to be aware of like, oh, okay, I walk, right, I need to look at the buildings themselves when I walk. So it doesn't lend to itself of like being a mindless walker in Japan.
On the surface, right, it might seem like this is more conducive to live in as compared to Singapore, right? But do you think the people there are happier because of that?
I think their work stress is crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Do you think that because
called,
of
like,
this kind of
work-life
calm, right,
balance?
they have a lot of suppressed emotions that they cannot like you know, Singaporeans like they don't like something, they just, you know, no matter how good the whatever our government is doing, right, they will still find something to complain, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's Singaporean, right? They're very vocal and that kind of thing. But Japan has that super serene and very calm.
I think they have I forget what's the saying, but they have something like lan lan saktam, you know,
oh.
like that sort of personality. Like anything, you just have to like,
Suck it up.
right? You just have to like hold it in, and that's because like all these repressed emotions, and then maybe it surfaces in other forms.
No, but I think this is like more towards like their own people. But when it comes to foreigner, they actually don't have patience. Okay, yeah, they will try to be nice at first, right? But if you really like push their button, right, they will really stand up and scold you.
You know,
like, tell you off.
this has been a lot more obvious in the last few years.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
previously, I think like anyone who's traveled like pre-COVID will realize that actually the Japanese people are a lot more quiet, and the reason why like the whole gaijin thing can happen, right, is because like Japanese people don't react. They don't dare say anything. But nowadays, right, because there's so many tourist people there, they are a lot more outspoken and willing to tell people no, don't do this.
Yeah,
Because they cannot take it already, lah.
Yeah,
Right?
they
The
really
foreigners
can't.
interrupt their peace and
Yeah,
all that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Give them like an outlet to release.